black. Just a thin layer for my first coat. Okay, make sure it's all shooting well. Very thin layer. That's it. I'm going to let it sit for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. Now if you want to speed up the process, you can also use a hair dryer, fan, blow dryer, or whatever you want to use. Put about 4 or 5 layers of black on this spot. I really want it to pop. I really want it to be black, dark. So yeah, 1 layer at a time. Very light layers so it doesn't run. Okay, so I painted my little square black. I opted out of not going with the fender flares black. Just a personal choice. I guess I want most of the body solid. I'm not doing really any designs on this body. I kind of like the look of the solid color. I did that with my drift truck and it looks really nice. So after that dries completely, which it's now dry. Okay, I can touch it, doesn't get any paint on me. My last step right here is to peel off the rest of my liquid mask so I can paint my solid color. My color is going to be green. I got 2 cans of it here because it's kind of a little bit of a see-through transparent color, so I'm gonna lay it on thick. But at this point, you just get a hold of part of the liquid mask pretty much in any corner. Once you get a hold of it, you just peel it right off. We'll see how these lines end up. When you do any cutting or anything like that, if it's not perfect, you can always put a little more liquid mask on to stop it from messing up. So I'm just kind of scratching away at it very lightly so I can get a nice grip on it. Once I get that grip, you just peel back nice and slow. Make sure all the edges come off too. You want to make sure all the liquid mask comes off of the area you want to paint next, because if not, it won't get paint on there. Now you can see it's black from the paint, but when I pull this liquid mask off, you can see where I painted right here. Paint stays. I pulled that liquid mask off already. So this comes right off. It's real easy. Go around all the edges, make sure all that paint will stick there so you get all that liquid mask off. I found it easier if you go against the edges, not with them, because it pulls it off a little easier. And if it sticks like it is right here, see how there's that little flap sticking here? If the paint's fully dry, you really just gotta pull. It'll come off in a pretty straight line. As long as you cut it straight, it'll stay straight. And if you have any leftover like this, there's a couple little spots here, just kind of rub it a little bit. It'll come off. You don't need to worry about the paint coming off as long as you let the paint fully dry. But if you don't get these edges off when you paint the next layer and they hang over, it won't let the paint stick. Eventually it'll peel off and it won't come out the way you want it to. So just take all the liquid mask off here. Now when you're going over the windows, make sure you don't pull off the stickers. You want the stickers, that is if you want your windows clear or to tint them. You can find window tint. We do have a can of that around here. So when I get to that sticker, if you see it kind of wants to come off, so you got to make sure you get it off and then re-stick the sticker around there the way it needs to be. Again, if you go against the sticker, it'll probably peel off a little bit. So if you go with the sticker, opposite of going against the edges, go with the sticker, it'll come off easier. See, and that comes right off. So that's where I painted my black. That's how that turned off. Once I get all the rest of this liquid mask off, I'll bring it back outside and I'll show you how to paint the fluorescent green. Okay, so now it's time for my fluorescent green or my neon green. I'm going to do a nice thin layer of it first. Make sure when you're doing this that you press your body or your window stickers down first. Make sure the edges are all set to go. Then you gotta make sure you get all the angles. Inside of the bodies, obviously we all know it's got different angles. Make sure you get every angle. When you're doing it, you can look at the light with it. Put a light behind it, see if it shows through or anything. So let's get some green on this body. Just a real thin layer to start it off. Got to make sure you get everything. Wind's blowing a little bit here in Hawaii. You can spin it around. Now when you do thin layers, it makes it so it doesn't drip. That's the goal of a thin layer. So that's my first thin coat. I'll do probably about 5 coats of this and show you what it looks like. Okay, so as you can see, I did about 5 layers of green on here. Pretty even coats all the way around. But you can still see through the green. I used 2 full cans of the green. This is the white. They're about the same. They're the same size. Use 2 full cans of the green on this. I want to make sure it was really thick. I love this color green. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish off my painting with the white. I'm going to do one last coat over everything. Make sure it's white. Let it dry for quite a while. I want it to be completely dry. So at that point I can take off these window stickers. Leaving these window stickers on through the whole thing, when I take them off I want to make sure the paint's dry. It'll leave me very solid, clean lines. And we'll get to that right now. Okay, so the last color of white, I'm going to cover everything. Make sure I do a nice even coat of the white. I'm not worried. It's going to cover up the green and the black. But you will see it from the outside because we are painting from the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and do this first. I'm going to do a lighter color first. Lighter coat first. Just make sure I'm getting everything good. Still be able to see a little bit of green. Just like this. Just light coats. I want to make sure I get everything possible. The only reason I do white afterwards is it does help these brighter colors pop a little more. Gives it a little bit of background, plus the inside looks more professional. It looks real good, looks real sharp. When you're out the trails or the track, you gotta switch a battery and someone sees yours, you know someone, they see your stuff, they're like, wow, that's nice, who did that for you? And, you know, you say you did it yourself. Look at the pride of your work. This is what this is all about. Make sure you cover everything. I'm not worried about covering the windows as much because the stickers will peel off. Alright, so there you have it. There's my first light coated green, white over my green and black. As you see, it doesn't really, it kind of brightens up the color a little bit. It makes it kind of pop a little more. So I'm going to go ahead and put another coat on when this one dries and see how this all turned out today.